This is You've Already Been Hacked, recorded on
29 August 2025. Welcome back to You've Already Been Hacked this week. Well, let's just get to it. Cyber Cowboy, an OAuth breach via a Drift AI chat agent exposes Salesforce data. I mean, this is something that before we get into the story, this is something that I've heard a lot about in AI circles, where the authentication mechanisms for a lot of the API that needs to be used are they're just blindly open. And I don't know if that happened here. We'll get to it here in a second, but that's a real security concern for workflow automation that people are doing with AI. But here, hackers exploited the OAuth and refresh tokens tied to Drift's AI chat agent within SalesLoft, breaching multiple Salesforce customer instances. The campaign was active from the 8th of August through the 18th of August and was attributed to threat actor UNC 6395 and resulted in the exfiltration of AWS keys, passwords, and Snowflake credentials. This matters because this breach highlights how embedded AI integrations can become high-value targets. OAuth token abuse bypasses traditional login protections, and the scale of data theft suggests systemic weaknesses in third-party app vetting. Yeah, this is nightmare fuel for those that work with APIs and workflow automation. Audit all OAuth token usage and revoke unused or stale tokens. Monitor third-party app permissions, especially AI agents with back-end access. Implement anomaly detection for data exfiltration patterns, and consider segmenting sensitive environments from SaaS integrations. And I tell you what, Cowboy, the amount of API tokens I have had to either generate or put into my workflow automation software, like it really it upsets my stomach. Like, just to make the stuff work, and I'm just like, this is a nuclear bomb waiting to go off, and I have done everything I can to secure my my workflow automation platform, multi-factor authentication, complex password. I have it behind a Cloudflare zero trust tunnel so that like barely anything can touch it. So if it was going to be compromised, it would have to be from within my network, which, you know, is totally possible, but that's the only way it would be able to be done at this point. And I'm still petrified. And this is a clear example of it hitting something very big in the wild. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember going too in depth in any of our previous shows on these chatbots and stuff, but it's something that I know that I highlight in my cyber capture the flag work that I do, and the cyber community's been talking about that, right? These chatbots and the connections that they have into your network is too often like you're given the keys of the kingdom to the chatbot, right? And we're talking about least privilege. Like, that chatbot needs to be the least privilege.
Oh my
Only
God.
what it needs to survive.
I'm in the middle, everybody. I'm in the middle of taking a master class for some of this automation stuff, just to get really sharp on some of the stuff that I feel like just hasn't been a focus of mine. And as I'm going through this class, the instructors are like, okay, we're going to use this platform and this platform for this one, and we're going to use this platform, so we need you to generate API keys for these three other things. And I'm like, oh my God, how many API keys am I going to have to put in one place? Like, you're right. Keys to the kingdom. And it's not so much the bot itself that I'm worried about. The bot, in a lot of instances, might have a API key to interface with the back end, but it's what you store in the back end that's really the problem. It's all those APIs, it's all those keys, it's the path, it's everything, it's on the platform. The bot is now just the very weak and manipulative of doorkeeper, really. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And just so our audience knows, the reason it was attributed to UNC 6395 is it's not attributed to any threat actors. There's whispers that it might be a new and unique threat actor, but that name convention
designator.
means, yeah, that designator means they don't know for sure who it is. And in fact, they tried to attribute it to shiny hunters, who we talked about before, and they actually came out and said, hey, this actually wasn't us.
Which, wow,
you know,
that should be scary in of itself. When a group actually saying, nope, we didn't do that one. That means that
yeah, most of the time they don't care to take credit, right?
Yeah.
And so the fact to come out and be like, no, actually this wasn't us, is interesting. And they had good operational security. They were deleting query jobs, and other ways to cover their tracks. So interested to see kind of how this plays out and who might have been getting up to this.
Yeah. Well, I would say for this type of data, like this doesn't, I don't know. It could have been anyway, but this is definitely lucrative data. So this is a money target or a second order effect target where they're going to go after something else. And expect more of it. That's all we can say, which is something we say literally every week at this point, which is kind of troubling in of itself. Okay, let's see. Some more AI this week. NIST releases an AI cybersecurity controls overlay. Probably apropos and right on time. NIST unveiled 5 control overlays for securing AI systems, offering guidance on risk management, data integrity, and adversarial robustness. These overlays aim to help organizations align AI deployments with existing cybersecurity frameworks. This matters because embedded in enterprise workflows, standardized security controls are essential. These overlays offer a good blueprint for integrating AI safety without reinventing compliance wheels. So hopefully not something that everybody needs to relearn to do. You should be doing right now, reviewing these NIST overlays and mapping them to your AI deployments. Incorporate adversarial testing and red teaming into your AI lifecycle, and ensure AI systems are auditable and explainable for compliance. Cowboy?
Ooh, compliance, one of my favorite things, but a necessary evil. Hats off to NIST. They do such a great job at bringing the best of the best together. A lot of it is, for those that don't know, a lot of these people come together just out of their own time. They're not getting paid. They just want to make the cyber world a safer place. And getting these sort of basic level overlays down is such a big step. It might not feel like a big step, but it really is a big step when NIST comes out and is like, all right, here are the first cybersecurity control overlays for AI, right? Here's the bare minimum to get you started, especially for companies that continue to use AI because it's cool and a buzzword and it probably helps them, but they don't know jack about implementing it or securing it, or quite frankly, who they're buying it from. So way to go, NIST.
Yeah, you're right, man. NIST, when NIST finally puts a publication out, it has gone through the back end ringer before it hits the street. So generally very high quality. And in a lot of ways, NIST, they don't do very prescriptive technology. They will do a broader brush so that it can fit as many different environments as possible. And I've always found that to be very helpful from a strategic planner standpoint, because it gives me a blueprint that I can then apply to what my infrastructure looks like, as opposed to it has to be these specific things that we're talking about, right? And that's why I've always loved when NIST puts out some new guidance. It's something really to absorb and to take in. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you that starting point, that baseline, like, okay, here's what I know, and now make it fit to my environment.
Yeah. What else this week? Okay. AI agents are vulnerable to hijacking attacks. So, yep. Recent research. The people at over at what was our first story? Who were they? They were SalesLoft. They should have read some of this research, apparently.
Yeah.
Recent research shows that AI agents, especially those with autonomous capabilities, are highly susceptible to hijacking via poisoned inputs and prompt injection. Attackers can manipulate agent behavior or extract sensitive data. This matters because as AI agents gain more autonomy, their attack surface will expand, and hijacking an agent could mean unauthorized actions, data leaks, and even infrastructure compromise. What can you or should you be doing right now? Well, you should be implementing input validation and sandboxing for AI agents. Avoid giving agents write access to critical systems without human oversight, and regularly test agents against known prompt injection techniques. So, two things here. The professor has written a course that is not one that I can share with all of you. It's for my primary employer, but I wrote a course about poisoning prompt injections and inputs and stuff like that, and how that's really troubling and problematic. Also, of interest here from a right access to critical systems without human oversight. So again, one of my workflows is just to help me out a little bit with getting some stuff posted. So I have a full workflow that will pull information from a place, synthesize that, summarize it, craft a post for me, and put it into the social media scheduler here in the digital sock as a draft, right? You cannot have, as the turtle, the saying goes, turtles all the way down. So it goes in as a draft because I am the human review, digitized, of course, but still human, where those posts either go or don't go because I pull the trigger on them. They do not go out just because. And I know there's a lot of people in a lot of automation circles right now with AI that are like, well, here's an AI automation agent that will post 100% of the time without you having to do a thing. And I hear that, I'm like, oh, no, like maybe I'm just too paranoid. Maybe I'm too old school. I'm not going to just fire and forget like that. Getting it into the system and ready to go. The way I feel about stuff like that, Cowboy, is it's like a junior editor or copywriter or whatever that's doing that prep work for me so that I can have the final green light say on something. And that I feel okay with. My 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this back. It similar to like the whole why you can't just replace all your junior SOC analysts with AI, right? And you're talking about social media posts. This
Something
stuff
low
is
risk.
talking about
Yeah.
right, yeah, low risk. Like if it posts a stupid thing, whoops, no big deal, and no big deal. If you're allowing AI agents to write to critical systems or sensitive data, oh, yeah, you better have some severe restrictions and guidelines in place. I don't think anyone should be doing that today. I don't think we're there. And
I fully agree with you. And these
the
companies that
risk
are
is so high.
Yeah, these companies that are laying people off and replacing them with AI, I'm having a real hard time over the past couple weeks understanding how they got there. Maybe, honestly, folks, maybe the quality of the employees they were hiring was so low that they could replace them with AI and not notice the difference. But I can tell you in my own personal experience in using AI to help with some software development stuff that the professor is working on, some automation stuff the professor's working on. They are just, and I'm not using tiny models. I'm either using frontier models through API access or very near the top end of what can fit in commercial grade stuff, local models. And they are just not smart enough to get it done, even with complex prompting. Like they can get close and then they kind of vomit on themselves and it you just can't get there. And by close, I mean, I think a junior software dev would do better in a lot of cases than what I'm seeing right now. And that is kind of troubling, right? So I'm at a point of comfort where AI can get something started for me. AI can draft a thing for me, but it is in no way ready for that to be the final edge deployment. Not at all. And if it's going to write to a system of mine for any reason, it writes draft, or it will seek authorization with explicitly what it's going to do before it executes, because there is no way I would trust any of it right now. It's just not at the quality level for my personal standards. So I don't know how corporations are saying, yep, good enough for me, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it boils down to they're just not educated. Just gonna say it. They're just not educated. They just
Yeah.
don't understand what it is and how it works. They're probably getting sold a bunch of crap from whoever is selling it to them, and can't hate on the good salesman. But I also believe you got to have some ethics in there. You got to have ethical software, ethical sales tactics, and I mean, if you can sleep at night knowing you're selling garbage, okay, but you, the businesses, if you're going to implement AI to write, you have got to bring in somebody that knows the in and outs of this stuff. Period. Dot. And they're expensive. And if you want to save money using AI, pay some money up front to make sure you're doing it correctly.
Absolutely agree. And even then, like I was saying, even the frontier models are good. They're really good, but they're not like I can't even get into what I'm attempting to write because it is for my employer. It's just not good enough. It's just not good
Yeah.
enough. It
It's
cannot
not.
complete the task. It just cannot do it. And it has been an exercise in absolute frustration. And frontier models, just so people understand what I mean by that, I mean using the top end stuff that is commercially available today. We're talking Anthropic's models. We're talking Gemini. We're talking OpenAI's models. And this is supposed to be creme de la creme. This is supposed to be the stuff that's supposed to work. No, it's not. And if you're replacing your workforce, you need to ask yourself, what is this actually doing at what quality level that the human was not doing today? And I'm not saying, and there will be a time where this will change. I'm not saying that we won't get there. I'm not saying that they're not good at doing anything. They are. There are certain tasks that I can offload that are early stage, but for anything beyond that right now, even on some of the more frontier stuff, I'm not impressed yet. It's getting there, and it is impressive what it can do. It is strikingly impressive. And as a side saddle, as a companion, as a bounce the idea off of and research type of thing, cool. As in the develop it for me scenario, no, I disagree. We're not there yet at all.
Absolutely.
Sorry, that was my soapbox. I'm just a little frustrated lately over it.
Hey, we should do an audible. Let's go to story 4 and end on a high note with story 3.
Oh yeah, okay. I totally agree with you. That's great. Yeah. All right. Story 4: cybersecurity budgets are shrinking and AI defense is rising. Okay, you really wanted to keep me going, didn't you? You really wanted.
I mean,
all right.
We're on the train.
Reports show 85% of cybersecurity programs are facing budget cuts, accelerating the shift toward AI-driven defense tools. Security teams are shrinking while threat volumes continue to rise. This matters because constraints are pushing CISOs to automate aggressively. Without proper oversight, AI-driven defense can introduce new risks and blind spots. No kidding. What could you or should you be doing right now if this is the environment you find yourself in? Well, prioritize AI tools with transparency and human-in-the-loop capabilities. Don't just go turtles all the way down. Invest in modular automation that supports analyst review triggers and use budget constraints as forcing functions to streamline and harden workflows. Don't just downsize and say we can do it with AI. If you're doing that, I ask you to re-listen to our first story and where that's going to get you. Cowboy?
And our second story and the last 6 weeks of topics. Yeah, I mean, that arguably that's probably the last budget you want to be shrinking. However, it happens, and so yes, it kind of makes me think back when AI was still kind of newish, and people would come to us at a conference and be like, "We want AI," and we're like, "Slow your roll. Tell us the problem you're trying to solve." Maybe AI is the answer. Maybe machine learning is the answer. Maybe neither are the answer, right? Stop with the blanket AI can fix everything mindset and identify the problem and bring in the correct fix. because
Oh, yeah.
more and more we're going to have a lot of great stories. We're going to have a lot of great stories about someone big losing a lot of money because they're, AI chatbot gets hacked, or take your pick of AI did or did not catch. AI did this. AI wasn't doing this like they thought they were. And we're going to have lots of stories coming up. And while that's good for us, it's a loss for the people.
Yeah, I concur. Um, you know what? And then we'll just go back to one of the earliest things we ever said. Is it part of the cost of doing business at that point?
Right. Tens of millions, hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
The professor and I are available for a 1099 to come in and help you out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
At that
saying.
point. Yeah, seriously. Let's end on a high note, shall we? Because I want to get off my pedestal tonight because I feel a little bit preachy and a little agitated. I'm a little more agitated now after all of these stories. It's very. Look, everyone. Professor loves him some AI. I use it as often as I can. I have an entire AI stack in my rack here in the digital sock. Like, it's a thing, and I use it, and I do see the benefit to it, and it has seriously helped me get some stuff done or drafted that otherwise would have taken me weeks or months otherwise. So I am not preaching that AI is awful. I think it's great. I don't think it's going to be the end of us, I hope.
All hail AI overloads.
Well, I just say that because it is August 29th, and this was when Skynet was supposed to become self-aware. So just, just a thought. But if you're a leader and you're considering, again, if you're considering shrinking your workforce to replace it through AI, if your budget is being forced down and you think that AI can solve your problem, I would push back against your leadership hard to give you the time to prove or disprove that particular hypothesis, and not prove it because you have a bias one way or the other. Do it the right way for your business, because otherwise it could cost you way more than you realize. Yeah, I'll stop there.
Spot on, sir. Spot on. All right. High note.
High
Let's do
note.
it.
Okay, high
Good
note.
news.
This is actually good. We haven't had one of these in a month,
It's
maybe
been a
2
little bit.
months, something like that. All right. I don't know how to say this word, so I'm going to give it my best go here, Cowboy. Operation Serengeti. Serengeti, thank you. Dismantles 11,500 malicious infrastructures.
Woo!
Interpol's Operation Serengeti 2.0 led to the arrest of 1,209 cyber criminals and a takedown of nearly 11,500 malicious infrastructures across multiple countries.
Wow.
The operation, yeah, that's great. The operation targeted phishing, banking malware, and ransomware networks. This is one of the largest coordinated cybercrime crackdowns to date, and it shows growing international cooperation and the scale of infrastructure behind modern cybercrime. This matters for you, and you should stay up to date on threat intelligence feeds. Many IOCs from this operation are now public. Reassess exposure to phishing and ransomware vectors, and consider geo-blocking and DNS filtering for high-risk regions. And I can tell you, Cowboy, I think you and I have talked about this before. I, at the Cloudflare level, am geo-blocking multiple countries from touching any of our domains. Might be shorting our audience a little bit, but you know what? It's worth it. It's not worth the risk, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. So let's dive a little more into this. Not only were there 1,209 cyber criminals arrested, 97.4 million recovered between June and August of this year. 18 African countries and the United Kingdom were involved.
Wow.
In getting after this. There was also some business email compromises and crypto mining fraud within that. So about 88,000 victims within these networks. So it's sad to say that's kind of the tip of the iceberg, but that is a huge win in cyber. We've talked about how difficult it is for attribution, to hold people accountable. So this is, hey, great job, Interpol.
Absolutely. 94 million recovered sounds great, but with the losses we've talked about just since you and I have been doing the podcast together, it's a drop in the bucket in the return column. But still, like, awesome. And the fact that we had 19 countries involved doing this, African and the UK, that's really great. That's astounding, and a little troubling that there was that much infrastructure that was out there, and that taken down, and there's not nothing. It's like, what's the difference? Did the needle actually move at all? I'm not saying that the effort wasn't good. That's incredible. Like, go team, like GG's. But did we make a dent? That's my question.
I'm with you. I think it's the start, right? It's the start. There's a lot of work to be done.
If we could do if that type of international cooperation could continue to expand and accelerate at scale, yes, we would be making a difference.
Maybe,
absolutely.
Maybe they should use some AI agents.
Don't you know? You said we were going to end on a high note.
That's right. Sorry, just kidding, Interpol. So along these same lines, though, if you don't, I suggest to getting out and following FBI Cyber Division. They put out a regular, those joint cybersecurity advisories when big things are happening, and they just put one out. So just a friendly reminder to follow them and get those updates and take a read through and see what could be affecting your industry or your world of cyber, your matrix.
Well, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take the W. I will take the W, and I agree with you.
We need them.
we need some wins on the board. We really do. It's people used to say that the internet was the Wild West 20 years ago. Oh, I think it's far worse now. Even with all the regulation coming, the new laws out, it's kind of like, the way I feel about it is, it's like Pandora's box has already been opened, and you can try to corral as much as you can. And ultimately, the way I see the future going is kind of, there's going to be 2 internets, maybe 3 internets, really, where you'll have your Wild West, kind of what we have today, right? Then you'll have a fully curated, like, business internet that is set, like, literally separate, physically probably separate in some way, highly regulated, all that sort of jazz, right? And then you'll have an autonomous network that, like, that's the clean one, because AI runs that network, right? And nothing's going to be allowed to get through on that. And I kind of see that as a reality of that's going to happen at some point, because existing on this current global infrastructure, that it's literally drop a quarter and you're gonna hit some bad thing that's happened, I don't see that as forever sustainable as it is. So
it's
hopefully
funny you
I'm
bring
around
that
long
up.
enough to see it.
I had a thought earlier, and so we in the cyber community talk regularly about, like, the next peer-to-peer war is going to start off as this major cyber war. We want to stop what we call the cyber 9/11 from happening, right? And earlier today, I saw Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn, not the horrible remake, the OG, really good Red Dawn. And I started thinking about what was it? The Die Hard 4, I think, right? Which is all cyber and the fire sale and all that stuff. But I'm like, what a great movie idea to have a Red Dawn type of movie, but about a cyber war that's taking place. You heard it here. I've got to sell that to Paramount or somebody to get after that. But
I'm sure Netflix will buy just about anything. So just
they buy just about anything. Yeah, and honestly, that you could you could have so much. I think a show would be better than a movie because 2, even
Let it
3
breathe.
hours.
Yeah, let it breathe. I agree.
You could have so much character building and so many different avenues within the cyber thing happening around the world that a show would be the way to go. So you heard it here first. If you see it in 2 years, someone stole it, or Cyber Cowboy actually did his homework and got it
If
sold.
you see it in 2 years and Cowboy's no longer in the digital sock, you'll know why.
That's right. That's right. We're moving to a bigger sock, my friend.
Cowboy, we could have a real cyberpunk sock at that point. That's where that would go. That would be great.
Absolutely.
All right, Cowboy, what else you got for us tonight?
All right. As always, so that friendly AI chat agent turned out to be a Trojan horse with OAuth keys to your CRM kingdom. Way to go. I am the Cyber Cowboy. Stay frosty.
And I'm the Professor of Cyber Risk. That's all the news for this week. We'll talk again soon.
If you like this podcast, share it with your colleagues and friends. Your support is how we are able to continue to make this content. Thank you.